Okay, welcome. So yeah, we have a theme this evening that just kind of landed for me that feels very appropriate given what you just shared. But today is a solar eclipse, and eclipses often are considered to carry like that chaos energy. Um, I'm working with the biodynamic calendar with my garden, and it says don't do anything today because it's just too crazy. So that's the theme. I thought, well, okay, we've got this kind of chaos energy, so a really good time to practice yoga because yoga is really helping us stay inward, stay centered, connect with our energy field. So whatever's going on out there, this is really part of the yoga path. Whatever's going on out there doesn't disturb us so much. We get much more unaffected because more of our awareness can be drawn internally at will. So I personally find this a really good benefit of a kind of long standing yoga practice is that it's almost like your bubble of resistance, resilience just gets stronger. Okay, whatever craziness is out there, we can still stay inwardly calm. So that was my focus for the practice this evening, was quite a calming, centering, inward practice, which yoga always is, but just going a bit more into that energy. So we'll drop a few restorative postures in, we'll work with grounding postures with the legs, that kind of thing. So I thought we'd start with a bit of pranayama, a bit more than we might usually do. I ran my first pranayama workshop yesterday, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, I forget how stabilizing and steadying these practices are. So I thought we'd just do a few of the more calming, grounding, relaxing pranayama techniques to begin with. Hey, Amy, welcome. We're just getting going. I was just explaining the theme. It's about really staying centered, grounded, calm, no matter what's going on out there, because of the solar eclipse energy that we're in today. So we're going to start seated and be comfortable because we'll probably be here for maybe 10 minutes or something before we actually start to move. Okay, so get yourself comfortable, sitting up on a prop if you need. So we're going to do 4 techniques, but we won't do too much of each one. So hopefully about a 10-minute practice. And just really notice how you feel. So just before we go into these practices, just notice your starting place. Just get yourself grounded through your pelvis and your legs. Make sure your torso is free so you're not leaning against anything. And just notice your starting place. Where is your energy? What has your day been like? I know at least one of you has had probably quite a crazy, unsettling day. But just notice if there has been that quality of chaos in any aspect of your day to day. The weather, events at work or at home, or not. And if so, how have we been able to roll with those chaos elements? Or generally, how are we able to roll with chaos elements in our life? Do they suck us into the maelstrom of chaos, or do we manage to keep ourselves somehow separate? Or how quickly do we come back to our center? So just become aware of your breath. Such a good way to immediately bring us inwards. Become aware of the sound of your breath, the texture of your breath, the feel of your breath in your body, feeling how it's moving muscles, parts of the body, and maybe feeling the cool air inside the nostrils as you breathe in, slightly warmer in the nostrils as you breathe out. Maybe you even feel the breath cool at the back of the throat as you breathe in, as you follow its journey into the lungs, and warmer on the way out. And just relax your jaw, have a gap between the teeth. So our first practice, we're going to do 5 slow, deep Ujjayi breaths. So I think you all know Ujjayi breath, but if you don't, we're constricting the muscles, the glottis in the throat, in the glottis. So it's the whisper muscles. as if you were whispering. You have to constrict muscles to whisper. So there should be an audible quality to your breath. And ideally, we do this with the lips gently sealed. And we do it as we breathe in and out. So it's got this sound like the ocean, like this rhythmic, audible quality. If you don't know Ujjayi breath and you're not sure how to constrict those muscles, then just do slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. But what we're going to do is we're going to count in for a count of 6 and out for a count of 6. So we're regulating the breath and we're using Ujjayi breath. So I'm going to count this, but if your breath count is very different from mine, just kind of zone me out and do your own count. Okay, so let's just coordinate our breath. So we're going to breathe in and out through the nose. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out. And then constricting the throat muscles, breathing in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release the practice, just closing the eyes or soft gaze and just notice how you feel. Any shifts in the quality of the mind, the body, emotions. How does that pranayama technique affect your being? Just observing. And in between techniques, just really rest, relax the belly. Just let the belly be totally soft and the breath be natural. We're going to move into our second practice, Nadi Shodhana, the single nostril breath. Again, we're going to do 5 rounds and we're going to use that regulated count of in for 6, out for 6. Okay, so your left hand you can have in Yanana Mudra, where we touch first finger to thumb, 3 fingers extend if you wish, or just any other comfortable position. Your right hand, we tuck the first fingers in, first 2, or place them on the third eye between the eyebrows. And we're going to use the thumb and the last 2 fingers to seal the nostrils alternately. So we start by pressing the right nostril with the thumb and we breathe out all the air out through the left. This is to prepare. And then we seal the left nostril at the end of that and we start on the right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap out left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap out right 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In right 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out right 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In right 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In left 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out right 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do the last 2 rounds on your own and release your hand when you finish, so I know. You only swap at the top of the inhale. So if you wish to extend the count a little bit now, that's up to you, but make it even. If you've already finished, just staying internal, noticing how you feel. No rush for those still going. And just noticing the effects of this technique on your being. What's the difference in quality of feeling in the body, in the mind, compared to the first one? How do you feel? What can you notice? Relax your belly and your face. Let the breath be natural. We've got 2 more practices. The third practice we're going to do is the Shitali, the cooling breath. This is where, if you're genetically predisposed, you roll the tongue. You stick your tongue out and you roll it like like I'm showing. And if you can't do that, some people can't do that, then you just touch the back of your top teeth with the tip of your tongue, and you make like a small O shape with your lips, as if you were sucking on a straw, but the straw's not there, kind of like that kind of shape. Either of those work, you'll feel it. You'll feel the cool air on the tongue and in the mouth. And if the tongue's not sticking out, just in the mouth. Okay. So what we do, we stick the tongue out or make the O shape with the lips, and we take a deep breath in. We don't need to do a count in this one. And then we we retract the tongue back in if it's sticking out. We close the lips and we breathe out fully through the nostrils, and just make that exhale long and full. Okay, just as full as it can go. So I'm not going to count this one. Again, I'm just going to ask you to do it in your own time. And then just kind of have both hands on the lap afterwards and the tongue back in the mouth, so I know you've finished. Okay, so I'll guide you through the first couple. So when you're ready, roll your tongue, stick the tongue out if you can, or touch the tongue to the top of the back of the teeth and make the O shape. And then take a deep breath in through that cylinder of the tongue or the lips, and then retract the tongue at the top of the inhale, seal the lips gently, and breathe out fully through the nostrils all the way out. Just make sure that exhale isn't curtailed. And again, around for breath 2, roll the tongue, stick it out, or make the O, breathing in deeply. At the top of your inhale, retract the tongue back in, seal the lips gently, and breathe out fully through the nostril. And just do that 3 more times. We're just doing 5 rounds of Shitali. Just be in your own practice with this. And when you've done 5, don't rush if you're still completing, no problem. But when you've completed 5 rounds, again, just closing the eyes or having a soft gaze and just noticing, observing the effects of this technique. So probably you felt the cooling aspect. Maybe your body temperature shifts. This literally reduces body temperature, this practice. But it's also a very relaxing, releasing practice. So just notice if your body, mind feel any different. Soft belly, natural breath. And then our final practice, we're going to do the Brahmari breath, the bee breath. So this is probably the most internal breath. And after this, we're just going to sit for a couple of minutes just because it's bringing us inwards. It's a great preparation for meditation. All of this practice is. So we just want to reap the benefits of that and just sit with the stillness or whatever state it's kind of led you into, or just be with that for a couple of minutes. Okay, so we're going to the bee breath. You stick your first or middle finger into the ear, and don't do it just yet because you won't be able to hear me, because you want to stick it all the way in so you can't hear anything. And then you can, if you wish, do the pratyahara mudra, which is always a bit complicated, but the first finger touches the inside of the eyebrows, the middle finger touches the inside of the eyes, the fourth finger touches the outside of the nostrils, the fifth finger touches the outer lips, and then it's the thumb that goes in the ears. Because this practice is all about pratyahara, bringing our awareness, our senses inward. So this mudra kind of supports that. If you're not quite sure what's going on there, just stick your fingers in your ear. And a bit like the last one, all we do is we just take a big inhale, this time through the nose. And as we breathe out again with this full exhale all the way to the end, we hum. And it can be any pitch, any tone, just whatever comes naturally. And you just hum gently all the way to the end. But all the way out. And you'll feel the vibration inside your head. Make sure you have a gap between the teeth. So the lips are gently sealed, but there's a gap between the teeth. This supports that vibration. Okay, so I'm going to let you go in your own time, and then afterwards we're just going to sit for a little bit. Okay, so off you go. Five rounds, and then release the hands and be present. When you're complete, again, just being with what arises, noticing how you feel. We're just going to stay really present in whatever state you've been guided into here. Just remain here for a couple of minutes. Soft belly, relaxed breath, relaxed face. And when you feel ready, just blinking the eyes open if they're closed. I'm going to move towards our hands and knees. So in your own time, we'll meet in tabletop on our hands and knees, and we're going to start the movement practice. So if anyone can't hear me, because I'm quite far away, just let me know. Okay, so we're going to take this internal awareness into our asana practice. So just starting to move with the spine into the cat-cow with the breath. So inhaling, just gently awakening the body into the cow. Exhaling, gently moving the body into the cat. So just beginning to bring movement in, gentle at first. Just easing our way from that very internal pranayama space into some movement. We try not to disturb that internal feeling, or we try to minimally disturb that internal feeling, even though now there's more going on externally. This is our practice. And at the end of your next exhale, just coming to a neutral spine and just stepping your right foot out behind you on the ball of the foot and just stretching that right heel back. So getting that stretch into the calf, lower leg. If you're not feeling very much, take the hands further forward. And then really stretching the toe joints, so coming high onto the toes and kind of peeling the foot off the floor very gently and slowly, and bringing that knee back down. And swap sides, stretch the left foot out on the ball of the foot, stretch the heel behind you, taking the hands forward if you need, just feeling and breathing into that stretch on the back of the leg. And then again, as you come out, use this to stretch the toe joint. So really come high onto the ball of the foot and the toes peel off. So we just feel that kind of awakening the foot fascia. Bring the legs together, stretch the hips back onto the heels, and you can bring the hands back to the feet for full balasana or keep them extended, or maybe with the elbows bent, just your version here of child's pose, but forehead rests on the floor or on a block. And then slowly lifting the gaze, bringing yourself back up to tabletop. We're going to come into downward dog. So hands slightly in front of the shoulders, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, stretching the hips back. We're going to focus on the legs today, grounding postures, legs and feet. Spread the fingertips, spread the toes, look back to the feet. Keep that internal awareness with your breath, your bandhas. One more deep breath here. And then at the end of your exhale, look forward, bring the feet towards the hands, so the feet end up underneath the hips. I'm going to take a forward fold. So work today with trying to open the space behind the back of the knees. If the hamstrings are tight and we need a bend, that's fine, but maybe explore what it's like to bring the hands higher up the shins and open the backs of the knees a little bit more. So we're just kind of pushing that edge to try and open up the energy channels in the legs as best we can, but don't force. You don't need to look like anything except what the body is able to do for us here. Don't force past that. Okay, so we're either got the hands on the shins or the hands are just dangling or holding the opposite elbow. Crown of the head descending, checking our weight distribution on our feet. Ideally, our hips are directly above our ankles and we feel the weight evenly distributed across the feet. We're going to change this to Padangusthasana. So if you do have tight hamstrings, you will need to bend the knees here. We're going to hook the first two fingers and the thumb around the big toe. So the big toe, the thumb is pressing into the tip of the big toe. And then for those who are able to open the space behind the knees, then we do so from here. Otherwise, we keep the knees bent. Elbows go wide, shoulders moving up away from the ears, crown of the head descending. Even weight distribution on the feet, although maybe even just particularly pushing the big toes down into the fingers here. Inhale, look up, straighten the arms. One more variation, Padahastasana. We lift up a foot one at a time and slide the hands underneath with the palms facing up. So it might be, again, we have to bend the knees and that the toes just meet the fingers. Eventually, the toes touch the inner wrist. Okay, so just, again, no force, going where you can with this. Shoulders moving away from the ears, and a play with your weight distribution. Again, we want to feel evenly pressing through the feet, but if possible, we're slightly pressing more through the toes in this one, but make sure you don't go so far that you topple forward because it won't be pretty. You haven't got your hands to stop you. So make sure you're in control there. Crown of the head is descending. Feeling how much space we can open into the back of the knees. If your legs are quite straight, then you can really work on drawing up on the kneecaps, contracting the front of the thighs to open the space at the back of the legs. At the end of your next exhale, inhale to look up, one at a time, release the hands, bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees deep and sink the hips and stay low with the hips and reach the hands forward. So we're in this very low squat, drawing the lower belly in, tailbone under, reaching through the fingertips. Trying to keep the thighs parallel, knees trekking in the same line as the ankles. And then slowly standing up, bringing the hands to the side. I need to change my screen. And just come to stand at the front of the mat. So we're going to start with sun salutations. Half sun salutations, really just working again with feet and legs. So just starting in Tadasana, just feel the feet grounding equally, evenly into the earth. Strong in the legs, aware of the core, deep core in the breath. Inhale, raising the hands, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Dropping the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine, maybe hands to the shins again. Exhale, drop the head, folding in. Inhale, reach the hands up to the ceiling, looking up. Exhale, hands to the side. Going to do 3 more. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, look up, keep awareness in the feet. And exhale, Tadasana. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, palms touch. Keep awareness in the feet, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raising the hands, palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. And just pause into Tadasana. Coming into Utkatasana, keep the feet together, bend the knees, take the fingertips towards the floor and keep the hips low as you take the hands up as high as they'll go, maybe in front of you, maybe all the way up. If the shoulders are tight, arms can be shoulder width apart, otherwise palms touch. Draw up the tailbone, have some weight in the heels, look up to the hands, draw the lower belly in. 3 more breaths. And then on your next inhale, straighten the legs and exhale, bring the hands back to the side. Okay, so we're going to work with warriors. So we're going to, from here, step the left foot back. Nice and wide stance, and the left toes are in front of the heel. And hips face forward, we bend that right knee above or behind the ankle, and we inhale, raise the hands again, palms touch or shoulder width apart, if that's better for your shoulders. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Really push back through the back leg, through the back foot, grounding the little toe edge of the back foot. Press down through the heel of the right foot, looking up to the hands or forwards. Inhale, open out, warrior 2. So open to the long edge of your mat. Rearrange your feet if you need. So now the hips are open to the long edge, and we still want that right knee above or slightly behind the right ankle. Look forward over the middle right finger. Feel the legs strong. Feel the feet connecting to the earth. And then bring the left hand onto the left leg. Reach the right hand up or back. Reverse warrior. Inhale, back up to warrior 2. We're going to straighten that right leg and come into a wide leg version of triangle. So take the torso to the right, bring the right hand down, take the left hand up, and look up to that top hand. Inhale, coming up, and just come into this kind of backwards triangle. Let the left hand come down to the left leg, the right hand reach back. A bit like reverse warrior, but the legs are straight this time. And then inhale, coming to Upright again, turn to face the front, and we're just going to take a big step forward and let the left foot join the right and come back to Samastiti or Tadasana at the front of the mat. And just pause here for a moment. I can just smell burning, so I'm just going to have a quick look outside. You can see, I might have to just pause the class because I don't think Trevor's here and I can see smoke coming out of our chimney. So I'm just going to ring, just stay where you are for a moment because if Trevor's here, it's going to be fine. But if not, this is going to be a bit of an emergency. So just give me a moment. This is the eclipse energy. I'm going to keep my inner calm. I'll come back and report back. Sorry, guys. Just some smoke coming out there. Oh, it's from me. It was the doors open. It's pouring out there. Just stop now. I can smell it. Okay. And it smells. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's okay. You're still with me. Okay, Trev was here. And he says it's all fine. I just got a real smell of burning. Right, so we'll do the other side. This is a good pacing point for the eclipse energy. So coming to stand at the front of the mat in Tadasana. And when you're ready, stepping the right foot back, nice big step, and having that left knee above the ankle or behind. Hips facing forward, inhale, reaching the hands up. Looking up or forward, pressing back through the right foot. And just bringing our awareness back to the theme, whatever craziness is going on in your external environment. How unruffled can we remain? How resilient to that? So how quickly can you come back into your practice here, your internal awareness? And then we're going to open out into warrior two. So coming to face the long edge of the mat. Again, rearranging the legs if needed. Left knee above the ankle or behind. Look forward over that left middle finger. Strong in the back leg. Push through the little toe edge of the back foot. Push through the heel of the front foot. And then we're going to bring the right hand onto the right leg, reach the left hand up, coming into reverse warrior. So in this one, we keep that bend on the left leg. Try not to collapse all your weight into the right hand. Keep that right shoulder away from the right ear. Inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Straighten the left leg, take the torso to the left and come into a slightly wider leg version of triangle than usual. If it strains your front foot to be this wide, then just step your back foot in to make it like normal triangle. Looking up to the top hand. And then inhale to come up and just take that right hand onto the right leg, reach the left arm back for this backwards version of triangle. Opening that left side, pressing through the toes of the left foot, heel of the back foot. And then inhale, come back up to the center. And again, just turn to the front, step forward, right foot joins left, just comes back to that Samastiti or Tadasana position. Feel your feet on the ground. So we're going to do all the warriors. So we're going to do a little sequence that will take us into warrior three. It's good to kind of come to the middle of the mat for this one. And I don't have a block with me here today, but if you know your hamstrings are tight, have a block in front of you because we're going to go into a standing splits sequence as well. Okay, so from here, we're going to just use the strength of your left hip flexor to lift the left knee up. So we're just coming into a bit of a balance here to check our groundedness through the right side. And then it's like we're going to slice that left foot through the air as we come into warrior three with the hands behind, just reaching behind us. So we slice that foot out behind us, the torso comes forward, we're in a capital T shape, the hands are close to the sides. So if you wish, you can come into full warrior three by taking the hands forward, arms forward and the hands facing each other, the palms facing each other. So from here, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. This is where your block might be handy. Your block is just underneath your face, or if you've got two blocks underneath the shoulders, or your hands are on the floor. So we're going to stay with the warrior three legs. So we want to keep the hips level. So we kind of have to drop, we have to internally rotate the left leg and the toes point down towards the floor and drop that left hip so it's level with the right and push back through the left heel. And we pause here. And then we're going to come into standing split. So now we lift that left leg up as high as it will go. Just the hips can come out of alignment now. And if you feel quite stable and open, you can walk the hands back until eventually they're either side of your front, your right foot, and we drop the head in towards the shin. Or you just stay with the hands forward as we were. This is a strong hamstring stretch on the standing leg. Again, feel the space behind the knee opening up here. And then from here, we're going to take the hands forward again, bend the standing leg, place the left foot down behind you with the toes in front of the heel, and just walk your hands back and come into a pyramid pose. So the hips are facing forward, we're straightening the legs as best we can, and we're folding over the front shin. Again, a block could be handy. You could have your hands on the block in front of that right foot. It's a strong sequence, but you're really going to feel your legs. And then from here, just take a micro bend into the right knee, hands on the hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, step left foot to join right and release the hands. So you're probably really going to be feeling that right leg. This is good. Okay, and we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so when you're ready, you can have the hands on the hips or just by your side. We're going to use the hip flexor strength to lift that right knee, pressing down through the left foot, up through the crown of the head. And then we're going to slice that foot with control through the air. So it's like you're resisting your own kind of effort here as we bring the torso forward and we arrive in warrior three with the hands by the sides reaching behind us and the torso parallel to the floor. Right toes pointing towards the floor, pushing out through the heel. Maybe taking the hands forward into full Virabhadrasana 3. Optional. And then bringing the hands down to the floor onto a block underneath the face or blocks underneath the shoulders. Square the hips. So we have to lower the right hip so it's in line with the left. It feels like you're squeezing something between the uppermost part of the thighs here to help you square the hips. So if you imagine you could serve a cup of tea off your lower back here, pushing back through the heel. Square hips. Draw the lower belly up towards the spine. And then transferring into standing split. So now we take that right leg up. We don't worry about the hip alignment so much. And we can walk the hands back if we wish, or keep them where they are. If we're walking the hands back either side of the left foot, then we can fold the shin, the head in towards the shin for standing splits. Feeling the stretch on the back of the knee. And then walking the hands forward again if you walk them back, bending that left leg and gently placing the right foot down behind you, not too far behind you, walking the hands back. Your right toes are in front of the heels, pushed out to the side slightly. We square the hips to the front again as if you're kind of squeezing something between the uppermost part of the thighs, that you could serve that cup of tea off your lower back. And we fold over the front shin, using hands on a block in front of the left foot if you wish. Parsvottanasana. And then taking that micro bend into the left leg, hands on the hips. Inhale to come up, step the right foot to join the left, back to Tadasana. Feeling the legs. Just going to do one more little sequence and then come down to the floor. So come to face the long edge of the mat again with a nice wide stance. And take the hands out to the side. I'm going to turn the left foot in, the right foot all the way out, hips forward. And inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bend that right knee. So coming back into warrior two, but then we're going to come straight to Parsvottanasana. So right elbow onto thigh, or right hand to the floor behind the foot, if available. And we stretch the left side, we look up to the left hand, the left palm is facing the floor. And we feel the legs, so pushing down through the right heel, pushing back through the little toe of the back foot. And then inhale, push through the right leg to come up. Between sides, we're going to come forward. So outer edges of the feet parallel, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale, look up, stretching and opening the chest, and exhale, forward fold, letting the hands come up, maybe forward. Again, see if we can feel that sense of stretching and opening the back of the knees. Even weight distribution on the feet. And then inhale, coming up, leading with your knuckles. The knuckles are kind of drawing you back up, and then we open the hands wide again. We turn the right foot in, the left foot out, the hips still face forward, and we exhale to bend the left knee. So it's above or behind the ankle. Back into that warrior two, and then straight into Parsvottanasana. Left elbow onto thigh, close, upper arm close to the ear, palm facing the floor. Look up to that top hand, or maybe left hand to the floor behind the foot, dropping the hip lower. We want to have that energy line open down the right side. So if we put the hand on the floor, but the hips popping up, and we've lost that open energy channel of the straight line down the right side, so it's better to put the elbow on the thigh. And then inhale to come up, turning the feet forwards again. We're going to come forward one more time. Bring the hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. And like we've already done, we're going to take the first two fingers and the thumb around the big toes here. So the thumbs press into the big toes. We inhale, look up, straightening the arms. We exhale, fold. Press the thumb into the tip of the big toe. Open the space behind the knees to within your pain-free capacity. And then inhale, straighten the arms, look up. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, coming up. Again, just stretch the arms wide for a moment. And exhale, turn to face the front of your mat. Step both feet together. Tadasana. Okay, so really nice leg sequence. Very aware of the legs. So we're going to transition to the floor via a squat, but we'll do the one that kind of challenges the feet and the balance a little bit more. So keeping the feet together, bring your hands together, palms touch at the center of the chest. And then we're going to just come high onto the balls of the feet here, lifting the heels as high as they'll go. And it's quite a tricky balance. We want to try and balance on the whole of the breadth, the width of the ball of the foot here. And we're going to try and keep these heels lifted and keep the knees close or touching as we slowly start to bend the knees. If you've got issues with the knees, just go as far as you can. Otherwise, when you get to that bit where you need to rush because it's so hard for the thighs, see if you can keep the same slow pace of the descent to eventually bring the hips, the buttocks onto the heels, but the heels still lifted. So we're in a little squat balance. And again, we want to try and balance on the whole width of the ball of the foot here. Keep those heels lifted high, drop the tailbone, draw the belly in. Keep the chest open to the front. Good for the feet as well, this one. Okay, and then we'll see if we can come down. If you need to, bring your hands behind you to support you. But if you can, take the hands forward and see if you can lower the heels for a moment, maybe. Find a squat on the heels. Maybe the bum falls back immediately, that's fine. But maybe we can just find that sweet spot for a moment and then allow the buttocks to come down. So for the next portion of the class, I just need to check the time. We're going to focus on kind of inward looking forward folds, and we'll finish with some restorative postures. So we'll take a couple of forward folds. So sit on a block if you prefer. We'll stretch the legs out in front of us. And have the hands by the sides. Just find Dandasana for a moment where we square off the soles of the feet, activate the front of the thighs. We connect to our core, scooping that lower belly in and up, drawing the chin down towards the chest. So potentially working with Mahabandha, the great lock here, where we've got Uddiyana Bandha in the pelvic floor, the perineum switched on. Uddiyana Bandha, those deep abdominals moving back to the spine. Jalandhara Bandha, chin to chest. Shoulders drawing down, away from the ears. And then lifting the chin if you took it down. Inhale, stretch up through the arms, stretch the side body. Exhale, come forward into Paschimottanasana, taking hold of the thighs, the shins, the feet, whatever is comfortable for you. And then we're just going to go into a nice long hold, at least 10 breaths. And after about 5 breaths or so, just see, can I change the hand position at all here? Is there more space? If there's not, stay where you are. But it maybe creep the hands a little bit further. So just explore that about halfway through. And then slowly coming back up, letting the head come up last. Just take a moment to let the blood flow back the normal way. We're going to come forward again. So keep your left leg outstretched and bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh for Janu Shirshasana. I'm going to inhale, stretch up through the hands, and exhale, folding forward again, bringing the hands to touch thigh, shin, ankle, foot. Dropping the head, relaxing the face and the jaw. Keep that left leg active, left toes pointing up to the ceiling, spreading and opening this left sole of the foot. Also keep some awareness in the right foot, keep that right foot actively flexed. Inhale, look up, bringing yourself back up. We're going to do just 2 more variations of this Janu Shirshasana. We've got the left leg forward still. But this time we're going to lean forwards again, but more to the left, more to the outer side of the left leg. So for this, we're going to take the right hand, if the foot's available, to the outside of the foot, otherwise to the outside of the leg, wherever is available. The left hand's kind of just out as a stabilizer. Then we inhale, extend, and we exhale, come forward, but we're taking the chin kind of over to the outside edge, the left side of the left leg. And you might just feel a different stretch. This is a very good stretch for this big muscle, the quadratus lumbar at the base of the back, the deep back muscle. You might feel it around the right lower back area. If this does not feel appropriate for you, if you've got issues in your lower back and this is triggering something, then just do the normal Janu Shirshasana. So the asymmetry can be not so good for some of us. Otherwise, enjoy that slightly different stretch. And then inhale to come up. And it's almost like we've twisted a little bit. So come all the way up and then turn to face the front. And then we're going to do the same, but the other way. So we've got our right knee out to the side, our left leg forward. So it's almost like a 90-degree angle. And we're going to come forward at like the 45-degree between the two, between the right knee and the left leg. So again, just take your hands in between your right knee and your left knee. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, start to walk the hands forward, coming into a forward fold in this direction. And again, if this does not feel appropriate for your lower back for any reason, then just take Janu Shirshasana again. So otherwise, notice where you feel, how you feel the stretch in your body now. Try to keep the left buttock down, the left side of the pelvis down. So we're rooted through the base of the pelvis. So we're trying not to lift that left buttock up. Press it down. And then to come up, again, you're facing that 45-degree, walking the hands in, and then untwisting back to the front. Between sides, we're going to draw the left foot to the right foot into Baddha Konasana, and we'll take a variation of Baddha Konasana. So keep the elbows in and start to take the chin and the chest forward. If just being upright is enough for you, stay there. But if there's a little bit more space, even if it's just a centimeter, a millimeter, and just start to take the chin and the chest forward, not worrying about going down, but forward. So the back still stays in its neutral curves and long. We're not curving the back, keeping it in its normal shape. And then inhale, come back to vertical. Stretch your right leg out. So now the sole of the left foot's against the inner right thigh. Make sure the hips are facing forward. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Janu Shirshasana. So this is our default. If any of the other variations don't work for you, just keep coming back to this posture. Inhale, look up. Bringing yourself back. You're going to come forward again, but to the outside. So take your left hand to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale. Your right hand's out to the side like a stabilizer. We kind of pull on the outside of the leg to bring the chin to the outside of the right leg as we fold forward. Really just be mindful of your lower back here. Any sense of dodginess, like, oh, I'm not sure this feels good, just skip this, come up, come back into Janu Shirshasana. It's very opening around the sacral area, quadratus lumborum. And if we're unstable in that area, then it might not be the best. But if we're stable, it can be a delicious sensation of different stretching in the lower back. Inhale, coming up, facing the right until we're all the way up and face the front. Turn to face the other way, that kind of 45-degree direction between left knee and right knee. Inhale, and then exhale, start to walk the hands along that line, that 45-degree line, coming as far forward as is right for you. Keep the right leg active, right foot active. Again, press the right side of the pelvis down, so we're grounding through the right buttock. You can drop the head if you wish, or work more with that open chest, neutral spine, your choice. And then inhale, look up. Exhale, start to walk the hands back in along that line so we get all the way up and face the front. And again, just bring the right foot to join the left this time. I'm going to do another variation of Baddha Konasana. This time we are going down. We're dropping the head kind of straight down towards the feet. So we draw the chin right in. We push the spine back behind us like a cat, the cat spine. And we drop the head down towards the feet. Maybe eventually touching forehead to toes. That's the direction. So spine's pushing behind you. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the elbows in. And then inhale, lifting back up. Come to the vertical spine and just take another few breaths here, maybe closing the eyes. Breathing into the pelvis, how it's connecting with the floor, feeling that grounded sense through the base of the body, the legs, the pelvis. Okay, and then just bring your hands to your outer knees for a moment. Bring the knees together, just draw them together, hug the knees with the arms, just to squeeze the inner thighs together. So we're going to come down to our back stand. We're going to take 2 restorative postures and then a nice long shavasana. So we'll start with a front opener and then we'll go into a supported child's pose. If you have a bolster, brilliant. If you don't have a bolster, we could use a brick behind the heart space, or a blanket or a pillow or cushion. So my version is I'm going to take the bolster, the end of the bolster into the sacrum or close to the sacrum. I'm personally going to do Baddha Konasana legs, soles of the feet together, knees wide. You could have the block behind your heart space instead, or the blanket or the cushion, but I'm going to lay my spine up the bolster. If this stretch is too much, then you could place a brick, a yoga brick or a book under the top of the bolster to make it not flat, to make it an incline, and then it's less intense on the lower back. Okay, so I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes with the palms up. So get yourself into any version of a heart opener, even if it's just a very gentle one with just a folded blanket beneath the heart space. Just some sense of being able to relax and melt into a support behind either just the heart space or the whole spine, and if you're using a bolster. But it's giving us a sense of passive opening in the chest. So we're just going to drop in, and once again, I'm going to stop talking so we can find that internal awareness, that pratyahara. No matter what craziness, the house is burning down, but we can stay internally calm as we respond to whatever's happening appropriately. Relax the jaw. Take a couple of big breaths here just to finish, just really opening that chest space, that heart space. And then we're just going to roll to one side to gently come off our support. And just move slowly. We're going to come into a counter posture, a supported child's pose. So my invitation is a wide knee child's pose where the big toes are touching and the knees are wide with the bolster between the thighs. Again, it could be up on an incline. And then we lay the front spine this time on the bolster and just kind of hug the bolster and turn a cheek to the side. If you prefer to just do normal balasana with the knees together without a bolster, that's also fine. But there's something nice for me about having that support of the bolster into the soft belly and the front spine, that sense of being able to melt my body into that support. And my nervous system lets go. There's nothing for me to do here. And halfway through, I'm going to ask you to move your head to face the other side if available. And just staying where you are for now. Breathe into the lower back, the upper back. Relax the shoulders and the face, and the groins and the pelvic floor and the belly. Softening. Releasing. Relaxing. And then turn your head to face the other side for the last minute or so, minute and a half. And then bring your gaze to face the bolster or the floor and walk the hands back in. We're going to make space for a good 5-minute Shavasana today. So when you're ready, finding your way into Shavasana, if you've got your bolster handy, you might choose to place it under your knees this evening. Make sure you're warm enough. And just get yourself into a nice Shavasana that feels supported and comfortable. Palms facing up. Feet just flopping out to the side. Closing the eyes. Checking you're centrally aligned. And just once more, just before we completely let go of everything, just dropping into that deep space of internal awareness, just being aware of your breath, your inner space, your center deep in the pelvic bowl. And then just let go of any kind of awareness. Just let the breath take care of itself. And just let yourself drop into the void of Shavasana. And then just beginning to deepen your breath. When you feel ready, start to bring the small movements back into the body and the fingers and the toes. Maybe just take a big stretch out the body, move the bolster out the way if it's there, roll it out the way. And just gradually in your own time, return to seated. Let's just meet in seated with our palms together. No rush if you're still down on the floor, but we'll just close in Anjali Mudra. And gratitude. And just as other symbolism of Anjali Mudra, it's gratitude, it's honoring of self and others, but it's also that bringing the hands together at the center line of the body, just bringing our awareness into our center, closing the eyes, bowing the head towards the hand, just brings us into our own center in gratitude, in honoring, remembering where we end and where anything out there that's crazy or disturbing begins. It's not us. We don't have to become it. So just knowing ourselves. And when you feel complete, just lifting the gaze, opening the eyes. Thank you for practicing this evening, staying with me, and hope to see you soon.